Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We're going to begin tonight with breaking news and that dire new projection showing coronavirus could kill 200,000 Americans by November 1st. That new prediction from one of the leading models used by the White House comes as new infections of COVID-19 are exploding nationwide. In what feels like a flashback to the early days of the pandemic, intensive care units in more than 50 Florida hospitals are now full. In Texas, new cases and hospitalizations are hitting record highs, with 10,000 new infections reported there today alone. Well, tonight, the military is sending medical personnel to San Antonio to support overworked doctors and nurses. And with those long lines for testing growing even longer, the Trump administration now says it's opening short-term test sites in 3 hard-hit southern cities, hoping to screen 15,000 people a day. Meantime, a new study out tonight says half of coronavirus infections are due to silent spreading from people who are sick and don't know it. The country's leading infectious disease doctor, Anthony Fauci, said today he's in favor of states mandating masks. And that new model showing 200,000 deaths, it predicts that nearly 50,000 lives would be saved in the U.S. by wearing them. For his part, President Trump appeared to acknowledge none of that today, saying he'd pressure governors to reopen schools this fall. The White House also said it's pulling out of the World Health Organization. Well, there's a lot of reporting to get to tonight, and our team of correspondents is standing by. CBS's David Begnaud is going to lead off our coverage from Miami. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Nora, from Jackson Memorial Hospital, where the wait time to get an ICU bed can be at times up to 24 hours. They are busy, but they also need more staff. They have been trying to recruit people, but it's tough. So today, Florida's governor came here to Miami to announce that 100 nurses who work and live elsewhere in the state are being redirected here to Miami to help out. Tonight, ICUs in more than 50 hospitals across the state of Florida are at capacity, including 3 in the Baptist Health System.
We don't have is the staffing. The nurses have been working relentlessly for over 2 weeks, and that leads to burnout, that leads to stress.
As cases surge, one Miami hospital is now going to be turned into a 150-bed dedicated COVID-19 nursing home. Despite the rising cases daily, Florida is requiring that public schools reopen next month. Today, Dr. Anthony Fauci said schools will need to get creative.
It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all. Modify scheduling. Things like masks at all time. Things like alternating morning, afternoon. Decreasing the size and the space between desks.
Today, for the first time, Texas crossed 10,000 new cases in a single day.
It feels like someone's stabbing you in your sides when you try to inhale.
Patty Peterson is a single mom raising 2 daughters and her niece. The 29-year-old nurse tested positive for the coronavirus, and she's been in a critical care unit since last week.
Everyone thinks it's blown out of proportion until you're the person laying in CCU who has no contact with anybody, and you're helpless.
There's a new study out that shows asymptomatic carriers are responsible for the transmission of half of the coronavirus cases.
You could inadvertently and innocently affect someone who's really vulnerable.
Back here in Miami, the mayor has reversed course yet again. He's now allowing gyms to stay open, and restaurants that were slated to close tomorrow can continue with outdoor dining.
Certainly, it's better than nothing. I'm hoping the guests can understand the situation about social distancing and new rules, and we'll see how it goes.
David Begnaud, CBS News, Miami.